If you've never been to the South Bend Scottish Rite building, I have to tell you, it is just incredibly timeless. It's historic. Really, yeah. I have Scott joining me right now. Thank you so much. And,
absolutely.
I mean, you get some of the backdrop here of what we're looking at, but the building itself, before we even get into what we're going to be talking about, the building itself is incredible, 100 years old.
Yes, we did celebrate our centennial this last year in 2024, and so it is 100 and about 2 months old at this point, yeah, so it is 100 years old, and like we said, it was 1924, the cornerstone was set.
Gosh.
So it was a big deal back in the day.
Now, for those people who aren't Masonic affiliated, which I grew up in the Masonic realm, so I was a Rainbow Girl, my dad's a Mason, so I've been in these buildings before, and some people may have been here for weddings and things like that, but this is maybe a scene that you don't normally get to see.
Absolutely.
The candlelight, is it a candlelight?
It is a candlelight quartet.
Quartet,
yes.
That's the right word. So we have 4 people coming into this.
Yes.
This is just an incredible phenomenon that's happening around the country, maybe even around the world, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's a whole new way to experience music.
Absolutely. So Candlelight by Fever, they do have shows around the country and also around the world. But here locally in Michiana, I believe we're the only location. So the South Bend Scottish Rite is the only location in this area.
Okay, so they're going to be coming in. And for the quartet, they are folks who are traveling all around the nation.
Yes.
And they're coming here. And what is so unique about the music that they play?
Well, it's unique that it's a lot of it is contemporary. We do have the Taylor Swift show.
Yes. Okay, we have to hold on. We have to pause. We really have to say it's a Taylor Swift orchestra performance.
Yes, yeah, it's a tribute. So not Taylor Swift.
Yeah, she won't be here, but I love that. Okay.
We'd be glad to have her, but
sure.
But this is the next best thing.
Yeah.
They do play all their contemporary music, such as the Taylor Swift, but they do shows Vivaldi's Four Seasons, which has been very popular, and it's just with the candles, with the architecture of the building, it just lends itself to an awesome night.
And it reminds me, if you've watched the Bridgerton series, which has been happening, for a couple of years now, but kind of taking that contemporary popular music and transitioning and dialing it back into an orchestratic performance. That's really I feel like a new age thing that we're doing.
It is. So yeah, it does feel very new age, but yet it feels kind of historic at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's just a nice evening. It's very tranquil.
Okay.
And,
now, people are going to be getting their tickets for this, and I want to make sure to point out they're going to be looking for this on Facebook events, right?
Yes. So if you see it on Facebook, don't be alarmed if there's different pictures that don't reflect this. As long as you follow the link, and it is Candlelight by Fever.
By Fever. And that's the company that's putting it on, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, tell us about your company, too, because you are not just doing the candlelight events, but also you have many other things that happen here in the Scottish Rite building, but all across Michiana, too.
Absolutely. I always like to say we're the best kept secret here in Michiana.
I could attest to that. I've been to weddings in here, and so often I, talk with other guests, and they're like, I've never been in this building, but it is such a treasure here.
Sure. So about 10 years ago, we offered it to the public. We opened it up. It was more private before, but now we're offering it to the public about 10 years now.
Okay.
And, we don't advertise as much as everybody else, but they are kind of exclusive events done right here. So we have weddings. We have private dine-ins, so we have rooms around the building where, groups can have private dining.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
Absolutely. So.
And you guys have a kitchen on hand too, right?
Yeah, we have a full staff kitchen.
Nice.
So they can have anything from filet mignon all the way to Marry Me Chicken.
Wow.
So we have a good menu to choose from, and corporate parties like to use this building. So.
How many square feet is this building?
20,
do you know? It's huge.
Yeah, so if you did all the floors, right around 26,000 square feet.
Oh my gosh.
So very, very large building.
And to think about all the detail that went into the creation of that 100 years ago, and looking at the architecture, and I even know the scrims back here. Tell us about those.
Yeah, so the building, again, was built in 1924. And the unique thing about the building is that it was built for the Masons by the Masons, and has never changed its goal.
Okay.
So it's always stayed in the same hands.
Yeah.
So the scrims behind me, the scrims and the hand painted things really add to the background for the performance. We have about 40 of them back here.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and they all predate the 1900s.
That's incredible, and they're in fantastic shape.
And they're in great shape. So it's a balance, because there's a lot of humidity that we have to take out of the air to try and keep those hand painted paintings and backdrops.
So the room that we're in now, how many people can this hold?
So this is our Grand Cathedral, we call it, auditorium, and it can seat 600 very comfortably.
Wow.
It's actually a little bit more, but to be very comfortable, we like to keep it about 600.
That's amazing. And again, you guys do so many wonderful things here at the Scottish Rite Building.
Sure.
I especially love that. So if you are interested in maybe setting things up to have a wedding here, or maybe a baby shower or anything like that, how can people find out more information?
Absolutely. Well, they can contact me. My phone number, 574-238-7382, or they can always go to RNS Entertainment. That's our website, so rnsentertainment.com. You can also go to the ScottishRite.com.
Oh, great, great. And they do other stuff here at the Scottish Rite Building too, not just have parties.
Right. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So the guys still meet here, obviously, and so it's a great organization. Also part of the Shriners. So they are a Masonic group here in Michigan City. We have the Oric Shrine. The Shriners, and everyone's familiar with the Shriners and all that they do with the hospitals and everything.
Yeah, so we're not doing our secret handshakes today.
That's right, that's correct.
None of that, but so much cool stuff that's going. I don't know if we mentioned it, but when is the candlelight event happening?
So we do have another one coming up February 7th.
Okay.
And that's
it's coming up soon.
And that's a Taylor Swift at 6:15.
Oh, phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the later show is the Vivaldi Four Seasons.
Okay, so you're doing two here that day?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
We normally have two shows. So there's an early show and then there's a little later show.
Okay, so you got to get your tickets for that. And I know you guys are going to bring those back again, maybe in the fall or another time.
Absolutely. So, and again, we have it coming up this March 22nd. Again, two shows starting at 6:15, and then we have another one at 8:30, and then about October they'll start up again all the way through the end of the year.
All right, well, you don't want to miss out on this. I know I've talked to some friends who already came to the one that you guys had recently, and they were just talking, oh my gosh, it was incredible. What an incredible experience.
Absolutely. We've had nothing but 5-star reviews from the event, so we're very happy.
That's why they're going to keep coming back. So make sure you get your tickets, though.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, thanks so much.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you.